I'm Zara Mehta, 28, adopted heiress to a diamond empire, amateur locksmith, and tonight, patricide enthusiast. Let's skip the part where you judge me. You'd want revenge too if you'd just learned your father paid a fortune to orphan you. This is my story. The first time I opened my father's safe, I wasn't looking for secrets. I was looking for a birthday gift. Raj Mehta had always been meticulous, obsessive even about his vaults. There were 3 in the Mumbai penthouse alone. 1 for jewels, 1 for cash, 1 for documents. But the attic safe was different. Small, rusted at the edges, tucked behind a painting of a woman I didn't recognize. A woman with my eyes. The key was in his desk drawer, hidden beneath a stack of mining permits. I told myself I'd only borrow it for an hour, just long enough to find the sapphire necklace he'd mentioned, the one that belonged to my mother. Instead, I found a confession. The safe held no jewels, just a manila folder, its edges yellowed like old bone. Inside were photographs of a car crash, twisted metal, shattered glass, a license plate caked in mud, and a letter, handwritten in Hindi, signed with a flourish R. Mehta. The Chandrashan mine cannot fall into rival hands. Ensure the accident is clean. Leave no witnesses. My hand shook. The woman in the painting stared down at me, her face suddenly familiar. I'd seen her in the orphanage records years ago, when I'd snooped through Raj's office. Anjali Choudhary, the file had said, deceased, survived by 1 daughter. The room tilted. My birth mother's name wasn't Anjali Choudhary. It was Anjali Mehta. Three days later, I stood in a Bangkok nightclub, sweat dripping down my spine, pretending to laugh at a joke I didn't hear. The man across from me wore a snakeskin jacket and a smile like a switchblade. Aiden Cole, gunrunner, drug trafficker. And according to the Interpol files I'd bribed a clerk to leak, the only person alive who'd ever outsmarted Raj Mehta. You want me to help you? Your daddy's got a kill-on-sight order out for me, princess. He's not my father. And you're the only one he's afraid of. Aiden's grin faded. He leaned forward, the neon lights etching shadows under his cheekbones. Let's say I believe you. What's in it for me? The Chandrashan mine. Raj stole it from my parents. Now it's the crown jewel of his empire. Help me destroy him, and I'll sign it over to you. Every diamond, every ounce of dirt. He studied me for a long moment, then tossed back his drink. You've got spine, I'll give you that. But if this is a trap... It's not. You've been trying to get this for years. Think of it as a down payment. Aiden pocketed the drive. We'll need to move fast. Your dad's shipping a load of blood diamonds to New York next week. Perfect chance to swap the inventory, plant evidence. And then? Then we tip off the feds. Let them rip his empire apart from the inside. Meet me at the docks tomorrow, midnight. And Zara? Yes? Don't wear anything nice. The heist went wrong in 13 seconds. Aiden's plan was simple. Pose as security, swap the diamonds during transit, leave a trail of receipts linking Raj to the blood diamonds. But Raj had added a new layer to the shipment. Armed guards from a private militia, their jackets embroidered with a scorpion emblem. They're not here for the diamonds. They're here for you. I froze. What? Your little FBI tip-off wasn't as subtle as you thought. Raj knows someone's after him. He just doesn't know it's you. They're scanning every face. Yours pops up, they'll shoot first. You knew. And you didn't warn me? Would you have come? Before I could answer, a shout echoed across the dock. One of the guards pointed at us. Aiden grabbed my arm, yanking me into a sprint as bullets tore into the crates behind us. We escaped through a sewer grate, the stench of rot clinging to our clothes. Back at his safe house, I slammed him against the wall. You used me as bait. And you used me to play vigilante. You think this is a game? Raj doesn't just kill people, he erases them. Your parents? They're not even in the ground. He had their bodies dumped in the mine, buried under the stones they died for. How do you know that? For the first time, Aiden looked away. Because I was there. Aiden lit a cigarette with hands that didn't quite steady. The safe house was a single room above a Bangkok brothel, the air thick with jasmine and regret. I was 15. Raj hired my father to handle the Chandershan protests. We were poor. Desperate. Dad took the job. He described the mine like a living thing, gaping pits, makeshift graves, children sorting stones under the whip of Raj's foreman. Aiden's father was meant to intimidate the miners. Instead, he joined them. Raj found out. Made an example of him. Strung him up at the mine entrance. Let the crows pick him clean. And my parents? They were next. Your father organized the workers. Your mother, she threatened to expose Raj to the press. The car crash was a cover. Raj's men dragged them out alive. I watched him shoot them myself. Why are you telling me this now? Because you deserve to know what you're really chasing. Raj never stopped. He just got better at hiding the bodies. I picked up a photo, a woman, her face gaunt but defiant, clutching a child. Zara Mehta, is that? No, that's Ria. She was 8 when Raj buried her in a collapse for stealing a pebble. This isn't about your revenge, Zara. It's about all of them. Don't lecture me about justice. You're a smuggler. And you're a Mehta. How many of Raj's parties did you smile through? How many diamonds did you wear while kids like Ria died digging them up? I slapped him. He didn't move. Feel better? No. Good. Now you're ready to fight. The FBI agent's name was Elena Marquez. She met us in a DC parking garage, her badge gleaming under the flickering lights. Your evidence is circumstantial. We need something that directly ties Raj to the blood diamonds. We're working on it. Work faster. He's laundering stones through a shell company in Dubai. If we don't move in 3 days, the trail vanishes. And watch your back. Someone's leaking intel to Raj. Who? If I knew, they'd be in a cell. One more thing. The Chandershan Mines ledger. Any idea where Raj keeps it? In his vault. Get it? It'll have every death, every bribe, every stone. She drove off, leaving tire marks on the concrete. Aiden waited until she was gone. You didn't mention the ledger before. Because it's impossible to access. The vault's biometric, retina, and voice scan. Raj is the only one who can open it. Unless you become Raj. You've got his eyes, and with the right voice modulator. That's insane. It's bold, and the only way to get that ledger before the FBI deadline. Plant this in the vault during the gala tomorrow. It'll override the biometrics long enough to crack it open. And if it doesn't, then we'll both end up like Ria. Raj's annual charity gala was a grotesque masterpiece. Ice sculptures of Hindu gods dripped onto caviar. Billionaires sipped champagne next to politicians who'd sold them nations. I wore red, Aiden's idea. A target, he'd said. Raj's ego won't let him arrest you publicly. He'll pull you aside. That's when you strike. He was right. Raj cornered me by the fountain, his smile a knife wrapped in silk. You've been distant, Betty. Have I? I sip my wine, the thumb drive cold against my thigh. You've also been asking questions about Chandrashan, about her. Why? Curiosity. You never talk about my birth mother. Because she was a fool. She chose a peasant's pride over power. Over you. You killed her. I saved you. You're a meta. Start acting like one. I am. The vault took 30 seconds to crack. Aiden's tech worked. The door slid open, revealing stacks of gold, diamonds, and a single ledger bound in human skin. I froze. Anjali Mehta read the first page. Disposed of April 12, 2005. Asset reacquired. Chandrashan mine. Bile rose in my throat. The ledger wasn't just a record, it was a trophy. I planted the drive, snapped photos, and fled, straight into the muzzle of Raj's pistol. Disappointing, but not surprising. Behind him, Agent Marquez stepped out of the shadows, her handcuffs glinting. Sorry, Zara. The deal was better. They locked me in the penthouse panic room, a steel cube hidden behind Raj's bedroom. No windows, no sound, just a ventilation shaft whispering with the ghosts of his sins. He visited at dawn, carrying a tray of chai and almond biscuits. My favorite. You always were sentimental. And you were always reckless. Did you truly think a smuggler and a traitorous agent could outplay me? Marquez works for you? She works for power. I offered her a percentage of the Dubai operation. Aiden, unfortunately, is less pragmatic. What did you do to him? Nothing. Yet. But if you cooperate, I'll let him live. You'll both vanish. Start over. A fair trade for the ledger. You think I care about Aiden? I think you're exactly like your mother. She begged me to spare your father, too. You're lying. Am I? He slid a Polaroid across the floor. A woman in a sari, her face bruised but alive, chained to a minecart. Anjali Mehta, April 13th, 2005, scrawled on the back. The room blurred. She's alive? She lasted 6 months. Even tried to starve herself to save you. The ledger, Zara. Or Aiden dies screaming. Aiden found me at 3 a.m., his face streaked with soot and blood. You're supposed to be dead. Marquez sold me out, not Raj. We've got 10 minutes before the guards cycle back. Move. We fled through the service elevator, its cables groaning. Marquez isn't FBI. She's private security. Blackguard Solutions. Raj hired her to sniff out leaks. And you knew? Not until she cuffed you. The ledger photos you took, did you send them anywhere? My cloud, why? Then Raj's empire is already dead. We just need to light the funeral pyre. The elevator doors opened to the garage. Aiden's motorcycle waited, but so did Marquez. Predictable. Both of you, hands up. Aiden stepped forward. You really want to do this, Elena? I know about your sister. Shut up. Ria, 8 years old. Worked the Chandrashan mine until Raj buried her. Found this in her grave. You sent it to her for her birthday, didn't you? Marquez's breath hitched. You're lying. Am I? Check the skirt. She caught it, hands shaking, and peeled back the fabric. For Ria, Love Didi embroidered inside.
And action.
Raj killed her. And you've been serving him ever since. The gun clattered to the floor. We leaked the ledger at sunrise. Every death, every bribe. Every diamond mined from Chandrashan's blood-soaked dirt. The files tore through the internet like wildfire. Protesters swarmed Raj's offices. Stock prices imploded. The FBI, desperate to save face, raided the penthouse. But Raj was gone. He'll run to Dubai, his jets fueled and ready. He won't make it. How? Because I called in a favor. Raj's private plane taxied onto the runway, then jerked to a halt as SWAT teams flooded the tarmac. Who'd you bribe? No one. I blackmailed the air traffic controller with his gambling debts. Let's go. The mines won't reclaim themselves. Chandrashan was uglier than I'd imagined. A jagged scar in the earth, littered with rusted tools and shallow graves. The survivors gathered as I signed the deed over to them, their whispers blending with the wind. Aiden lingered at the edge of the crowd. What now? Now I disappear. The vault's gold is in a locker in Zurich. Enough to start fresh. You're not keeping any of it? This was never mine to keep. He studied me. What about us? There is no us! You wanted revenge, I wanted justice, we got both. Maybe. But you're still wearing the sapphire necklace. My hand flew to my throat. The necklace from Raj's safe, my mother's last relic. Sentiment. Aiden smiled. See you around, Zara Mehta. He vanished down the road, trailing dust. I stayed until nightfall, until the stars mirrored the diamonds beneath my feet. Then I walked into the dark, leaving no trail. One year later, the news calls me a ghost. A vigilante. A myth. They're all wrong. I sit in a cafe in Marrakesh, scrolling through headlines. Raj Mehta sentenced to life. Chandrashan, now a cooperative. FBI agent Elena Marquez resigns. A shadow falls over my table. Aiden drops into the chair, sunburned and grinning. You're late. You're predictable. Turns out Raj had partners. I sip my coffee. You have a plan? Always. I stand, tossing cash on the table. Don't wear anything nice. You've heard my story. The lies, the blood, the diamonds that cost more than money. But stories like mine don't end unless we keep telling them. So do me a favor. Like. And subscribe. And make sure this tale burns brighter than Raj's empire ever did. Consider it a down payment for the next heist. After all, the best secrets are always yet to come.
All right, so today we're going to dive deep, really deep into a story. Diamonds, secrets, and, well, let's just say a thirst for revenge like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, this is going to be good.
It all starts with this line, and I'm just going to read it straight from the source. I'm Zara Mehta, 28, adopted heiress to a diamond empire, amateur locksmith, and tonight, patricide enthusiast. I mean, wow, right?
Yeah, talk about an attention grabber. Not your average Tuesday night, huh?
Definitely not. And that's exactly what we're here to figure out. What could possibly lead someone, anyone, let alone a dominant heiress, to even think those words, you know?
Right, right.
Luckily, Zara, or I guess I should say Ms. Mehta, she left behind this account, Zara Mehta diamondempire.pdf, and that's where we're going to spend our time today. We're going to try to piece together this whole twisted story.
I'm all for it. Buckle up, everyone. This is going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be a wild ride for sure. And it's not just about some personal vendetta either.
No, not at all.
This thing goes deep, like into the heart of the diamond world. Lots of shady stuff going on and, well, secrets. So many secrets.
Secrets on top of secrets.
Exactly. But at the heart of it all, there's this young woman, Zara, who finds out she's adopted. And then, well, things just get really dark from there. It's a family drama on steroids, basically.
Right.
And we're going to unpack it all, look at every twist and turn to understand how she went from a seemingly normal life to, well, wanting to.
To that dramatic opening line.
To that.
It's a fascinating psychological journey, too, you know? The trauma, the betrayal, the absolute thirst for justice. It's a lot to unravel.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. It all starts with a birthday, right?
Yeah. A birthday and a safe.
Yeah.
The catalyst for this whole crazy story is Zara looking for a gift. A simple, sentimental birthday gift.
A gift for herself.
No, for her adoptive father, Raj Mehta.
Oh, okay.
And it's not just any gift. She's trying to find this sapphire necklace. Raj had mentioned it in passing, you know. It belonged to Zara's adoptive mother, apparently.
Sentimental value. I get it.
Exactly. So Zara's up in the attic, rummaging through this old, dusty safe.
I'm sensing some foreshadowing here.
Right. I mean, what could possibly go wrong in a dusty attic, right? But it really highlights how the past can just sneak up on you. Like, no matter how hard you try to bury it, it finds a way to resurface.
So she finds the necklace.
Oh, she finds something all right, but it's not a pretty little necklace.
This can't be good. What was it?
Well, tucked away behind this painting, a portrait of a woman she sort of remembered from some orphanage records. There's this old manila folder. You know, the kind that's seen better days.
Uh-oh. I've seen enough movies to know that's never a good sign.
And inside, pictures, ghastly photos of a car crash, mangled metal, a license plate barely visible in the mud. Just awful.
Yikes. But that's not all, is it?
Nope, there's more. Along with the pictures, there's this handwritten note. In Hindi, signed R. Mehta. It's an order, basically.
An order for what?
To make sure some accident at the Chandershan mine, which we'll get to later, was thorough, no survivors, and it gets worse. The whole point of the staged accident was to make sure this mine doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
So from the get-go, we know this Raj guy, the loving father figure, is playing a very different game behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, we see his true colors pretty quickly. Ruthless doesn't even begin to describe him.
Okay, so car crash photos, a note ordering a hit. I mean, this is already heavy stuff.
This is just the tip of the iceberg, my friend.
But then it gets even more personal for Zara, right? It all ties back to that painting in the attic.
Right. You see, the woman in that painting, Zara had seen her face before. In those old orphanage files connected to a woman named Anjali Chaudhary, deceased, survived by one daughter.
Okay.
And it hit Zara like a ton of bricks. This woman, this face from her past, is her birth mother, and her name wasn't Chaudhary, it was Mehta, Anjali Mehta.
Whoa. That's a lot to process.
Absolutely. It's like her whole world just imploded. Everything she thought she knew about her life, her family, it was all a lie.
So what does she do? I mean, finding out your adoptive father might be involved in your birth parents' deaths. That's gotta be.
It's earth-shattering, to say the least.
Yeah, earth-shattering.
So she does what any rational person in this situation would do. She goes to a nightclub in Bangkok.
A nightclub? Wait, what?
Yeah, you heard that right. Not your typical next step, I know. But she's not exactly looking for legal advice.
Okay, so who's she meeting at this nightclub?
She's looking for Aiden Cole.
Aiden Cole. Who's that?
Let's just say he's not exactly the friendly neighborhood bartender. This guy is a gun runner, a drug trafficker, the whole 9 yards. And get this, Raj Mehta has a kill-on-sight order out for him.
Wow, okay. So she's playing with fire here. Why would she go to this guy?
Because she knows Cole is the only one who has ever outsmarted Raj. He's dangerous, unpredictable, but he gets things done.
So she's basically desperate.
Desperate times, desperate measures.
All right, so what happens in this Bangkok nightclub meeting?
Well, picture this. Dim lights, smoky room, probably some questionable music playing in the background. And in walks Zara, offering Aiden the deal of a lifetime.
What kind of deal?
She offers him the Chandershan mine, the mine that Raj stole from her parents, the crown jewel of his empire, so to speak.
Wow, that's a big bargaining chip. But what does she want in return?
She wants Raj destroyed, completely and utterly destroyed.
Okay, revenge, I get it. But is Cole just going to take her word for it? I mean, how does she convince him she's serious?
She comes prepared. She hands him a USB drive.
What's on the drive?
Evidence. Proof that Raj is knee-deep in the conflict diamond trade in Johannesburg. It's a down payment, basically, showing Cole she's not messing around and that she has the information to back up her claims.
So does Kill take the bait?
Oh, yeah. He sees the opportunity, revenge on his enemy, control of a valuable mine. It's a win-win for him, at least initially.
So what's the plan? How do they take Raj down?
Cole, always thinking a few steps ahead, comes up with a plan. Raj is expecting a shipment of blood diamonds in New York. Cole figures they can intercept the shipment, swap out the illegal stones with clean ones, and then tip off the FBI.
Sounds simple enough.
Yeah, well, it's never that simple, is it?
What happens? It goes wrong, doesn't it?
Spectacularly wrong. They get to the docks, ready to make the swap, but there's a problem. Heavily armed guards. And not just any guards. These guys are from a private militia.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Is right. They've got this scorpion emblem on their uniforms. Cole recognizes them right away. It's bad news.
What are they doing there? Protecting the diamonds?
Protecting something, that's for sure. But Cole, he's got a bad feeling about this.
And he's right, isn't he?
It's dead right. These guys aren't there just for the diamonds. They're there for Zara.
Wait, what? How do they know?
Remember that USB drive Zara gave Cole? The one with the evidence about the conflict diamonds? Well, he tried to use it to leak the information to the FBI. It didn't quite work out, but it seems Raj caught wind of it. Enough to know there's a leak somewhere.
So he suspected Zara.
He put two and two together. Missing daughter, suddenly interested in the family business, asking questions. It doesn't take a genius.
But how did he know she'd be at the docks?
He didn't. But those militia guys, they were looking for anyone who might be trying to mess with the shipment. And Zara, well, she fit the profile.
So they're spotted, there's a shootout. Do they get away?
Barely. It's a narrow escape. They manage to lose the guards in the maze of shipping containers, but it's clear the plan is blown. They need to regroup, figure out their next move.
Okay, so they escape, but then what? Where do they go?
They end up back at Cole's safe house. A little worse for wear, but alive. But things get really intense there. Zara, she's understandably freaked out, angry.
I can imagine. I mean, she was almost killed.
She feels betrayed, like Cole used her, knowing it was a risky plan.
And she has every right to feel that way.
Absolutely. But Cole, he's got his own demons.
Yeah.
And during this whole confrontation, well, he drops a bombshell.
What does he tell her?
The truth about her parents.
The truth? What truth? She already knows they're dead.
Yeah, but the car crash, the accident, that was all staged.
Oh, no.
Raj had them murdered, and it gets worse.
Worse? How could it be worse?
He had their bodies dumped in the Chandershan mine, the very mine he stole from them.
Oh, my God. That's just... It's beyond cruel.
To cure evil.
And Cole, how does he know all this?
He was there.
He witnessed the murders.
Yeah. His own father was an activist fighting for the rights of the miners at Chandershan. Raj had him killed too.
Oh, my God. So they both have this shared history of loss, of betrayal.
It's a bond forged in blood, basically. And it shifts Cole's perspective. It goes from this personal vendetta against Raj to something bigger. A desire for justice for everyone who suffered because of this man.
So he shows her the photos, right?
Photos from the mine. He does. And they're horrifying. Skeletal remains, people who just vanished, forgotten. Victims of Raj's greed, his brutality.
He was basically running a death camp.
Pretty much. And there's one photo that really gets to you. A woman clutching a child.
Who are they?
A young girl named Maria, 8 years old. She stole a pebble, a tiny little pebble, from the mine.
Yeah.
She was buried alive. A cave-in, they called it. An accident. But everyone knew it was Raj's doing.
Oh, that's just...
Heartbreaking. And it solidifies Cole's resolve. He's not just doing this for himself or even for Zara anymore. It's about all the victims.
But Zara, she's still focused on revenge, right? On Raj.
Yeah, there's a tension there. For her, it's personal. It's about avenging her parents. Cole, he's trying to get her to see the bigger picture, the systemic injustice, the exploitation.
But to do anything to bring Raj down, they need proof. Solid evidence. That's why they go to the FBI, right?
Exactly. They need someone on the inside. Someone who can take Raj down legally.
So they contact this FBI agent, Elena Marquez.
Right. And she's tough, skeptical. I mean, who wouldn't be? They're coming to her with this wild story, photos of dead bodies in a mine. It sounds like a bad action movie.
But she believes them.
Eventually, Cole's photos, they're pretty damning. But she's clear. She needs hard evidence. Something to directly link Raj to the blood diamonds, to the murders.
And she mentions this ledger, right?
The Chandrashan mine ledger. That's the holy grail.
What's so special about this ledger?
It's basically Raj's diary of death. Every death in the mine, every bribe paid, every dirty diamond deal, it's all in there.
So if they can get their hands on this ledger...
It's game over for Raj.
But there's a problem, right? Where is this ledger?
Locked away in Raj's vault.
And I'm guessing this isn't your average lock and key situation.
Nope. This is high-tech, state-of-the-art security, retina scan, voice recognition, the whole shebang.
So basically impossible to get into. Unless you're Raj.
Unless you're Raj. But Cole, he's a resourceful guy. He's got an idea.
This I got it.
He looks at Zara, really looks at her, and he says, "You look just like him."
Like Raj.
Like Raj. And then he lays out this crazy plan. Zara's going to impersonate Raj.
She's gonna what?
Impersonate him, break into the vault using her resemblance to Raj and a voice modulator to mimic his voice.
That's insane.
Zara's words, exactly.
But how are they going to get past the biometrics? Surely that technology can't be that easily fooled, can it?
Cole's got that covered too. He gives Zara a thumb drive.
Another one? What's on this one?
A program designed to override the vault's security. A temporary back door.
So they need to plant this thumb drive in the vault.
Exactly. And they come up with this plan. Raj is hosting his annual charity gala.
A charity gala.
Yeah, one of those fancy black tie affairs.
Ironic, considering what we know about this guy.
Oh, the irony is not lost on anyone, but it's the perfect opportunity. Zara can blend in, get close to the vault, plant the thumb drive.
So she goes to this gala in a red dress.
Oh, yeah, the red dress. Cole's idea, he calls it a target. He figures Raj won't risk a scene at his own event, so he'll confront Zara privately, and he does. He does. Pulls her aside, all smiles and charm.
What do they talk about?
Zara asks about her parents, about the Chandrashan mine, and Raj, well, he basically confirms everything.
He admits to it.
Not in so many words.
Yeah.
But he says her mother was a fool, that she chose a peasant's pride over power.
He's such a sociopath.
Textbook definition.
But Zara, she keeps it together.
She plays her part perfectly. Gets close to the vault, plants the thumb drive.
And then? Does she get in?
The program works. She gets past the biometrics. The vault is full of gold, diamonds, the spoils of a lifetime of crime.
But she's not there for the loot. She's looking for the ledger.
And she finds it, bound in human skin.
Oh, that's just...
Sickening. But the contents are even worse. Page after page of names, dates, transactions.
His parents' names are in there.
The very first entry. Anjali Mehta, disposed of.
Oh, God.
It's cold, clinical, like a business transaction.
She takes photos of the ledger.
As many as she can. But then, well, things go south.
She gets caught.
By Raj and Marquez, the FBI agent. Turns out she was working with Raj all along. The deal was better, she says.
Betrayal on top of betrayal.
Talk about a punch in the gut.
So what happens to Zara?
Raj locks her up in the penthouse panic room. The soundproof steel box.
Oh, man, that's terrifying.
Pure psychological torture.
And Raj, does he visit her?
Oh, yeah. He comes in all smug, offering a way out.
A way out.
Freedom for her and Cole if she hands over the ledger. But then he does something really twisted.
What does he do?
He shows her a photo, a Polaroid, of her mother.
Anjali.
Anjali, alive, but chained up, in the mine.
But the ledger. It said she was.
It's dated months before the photo was taken, meaning Anjali suffered for months, maybe even years.
That's just evil.
Pure evil. And then Raj lays down the law, the ledger for Cole's life.
Oh, he's playing dirty.
The dirtiest.
But Cole, he gets to Zara, right? He rescues her.
He does. Somehow he manages to infiltrate the penthouse, find the panic room. He's got skills.
And during the escape, he asks her about the photos, right? The ledger photos.
Yeah. Did you upload them? He asks.
The cloud.
The cloud. Smart thinking. Even if they don't make it, the evidence is safe.
So they escape the penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
They run into Marquez in the garage.
Showdown time.
Showdown time. And Cole, he does something unexpected. He pulls out this little doll, hand-stitched, one eye missing.
The doll.
It belonged to Marquez's sister, Rhea, the little girl who was buried alive in the mine.
No way.
Marquez breaks down. The realization hits her hard. She'd been working for the man who killed her own sister.
Wow. What a moment.
A total moral collapse. And that's when the ledger drops. Online, news outlets, human rights groups, everyone gets a copy.
So it's all out in the open.
The whole world knows what Raj Mehta did. The protests start, his stock plummets, the FBI raids his penthouse.
What about Raj? Does he get away?
He tries tries to flee on his private jet, but Zara, she's got one last trick up her sleeve.
What does she do?
She blackmails the air traffic controller with some information she found in the vault.
Wow, she's quick on her feet.
Always a step ahead.
So Raj is arrested. What happens to the Chandrashan mine?
Zara gives it to the survivors, to the families of those who died there.
She doesn't keep any of it?
Nope, not a penny. She also makes it clear to Cole that there's no us. They go their separate ways.
No, it's over. Justice is served.
Well, a year goes by. Raj is in prison. The mine is now a cooperative run by the people. Marquez, she resigns from the FBI in disgrace.
Sounds like a happy ending.
Yeah, almost too happy. But then Cole shows up again.
He finds Zara.
He finds her in Marrakech, and he's got news.
What kind of news?
Raj had partners. People even more powerful, more ruthless.
You're kidding.
And there's another mine in Angola. Another Chandrashan waiting to be exposed.
So it's not over.
Not even close. And Zara, she looks at Cole, a little glint in her eye, and says, "Don't wear anything nice."
It's the last line of the account.
The last line.
Wow. What a story. And what a woman.
Absolutely. It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About the price of beauty, the blood diamonds, the exploitation, the people who suffer so we can wear sparkly things.
It's a dark side of humanity, that's for sure.
But then there's Zara, fighting back, risking everything to expose the truth. It's inspiring in a way.
Yeah, it is.
It also makes you wonder, is justice ever truly served? Or is it a constant battle, a never-ending cycle?
That's a question we all have to grapple with, I guess.
Something to think about.
It is. And that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us.